just like what's happening in Washington, here in Trenton, we're seeing a bill being pushed through that will raise rates or rob the middle class while giving massive corporate subsidies to the greedy, taking the money from the needy. Just like in Washington, there's a bill being pushed through during lame duck or at the end of the year that's basically special interest legislation whose purpose is really reverse Robin Hoodism, taking that money from the middle class and giving it to a big corporation. And it's not that we're against tax breaks or anything else. The problem is that this is going to be the biggest energy tax we've put in place ever, and it's going to be the biggest corporate subsidy the state of New Jersey has ever seen. And that's why we're here, because this affects the environment, it affects business, it affects labor, it affects community groups, it affects retired people all across the board. And it's shameful what the legislature is trying to do by bringing this bill out on a Friday, having a hearing tomorrow, and then trying to rush it through before the next governor comes in place. In fact, what we're most outraged about from an environmental standpoint is that they're trying to sell this thing as being pro-environment, when the Salem nuclear power plants, because they don't have cooling towers, which was a massive tax break to them because they didn't have to build them, or ratepayer break, kill 17 billion fish a year. These plants have already been paid for twice by ratepayers, once through stranded assets and another time from the rate base, while they were making massive profits for PSE&G. But more importantly, what we're most concerned about from an environmental side is that it's going to tie the hands of the next administration. If we go down this road with a $320 million a year subsidy to PSE&G, it's going to take money away from wind and solar and renewable energy. It's going to tie the hands of the next administration. And that's the biggest concern that we have. In order for New Jersey to create green jobs and to move forward, we need to make sure that we're not subsidizing these dinosaur technologies of the past. And the biggest concern that we have from the Sierra Club perspective is you have cheap natural gas and you have subsidized nuclear power. It's going to push out the renewable energy. And on top of it, at the national level, they're already talking about giving PSE&G or nuclear power plants subsidies so they could double and triple dip. And I just want to mention one thing from the bill, which is critical, because they said that they have language to guard against it. The language in the bill says that if the federal government or the PJM or some other group gives them a subsidy for nuclear power for resiliency or fuel diversity, the BPU could deduct it from the New Jersey subsidy, which is not a shall, it's a could. But more importantly, if they're going to get money from the Trump administration or from the grid, it's going to be for base load and reliability. So they're going to be able to double dip and triple dip based on how this bill is written. And it also gives too much power over to the BPU. And we know from the last time we gave them all the power during energy dereg, they just were rubber stamped from the utilities and didn't do what they were supposed to do. So we're here today to let the public know that tomorrow's this hearing that's going to basically set the pattern for the next generation of energy use in New Jersey. It's going to shape energy policy. And what's shameful is that during this lame duck session, in some ways they may turn Phil Murphy into a lame duck when it comes to energy policy.